Yo, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Legend and I'm back with another video. You already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. Now if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, let's just get into this intro so we can start this what if.
I won't give up, I'll never stop till I wash up on the sand or my heart finally stops. I will be the best, headed out for change, I just started on my quest. Yeah, the world will know my name, I'm excited, I'm obsessed. No one in my way but myself and a test. Yeah, I will be the best, yeah, I will be the best. Life is just a game, I'll be playing till I rest. I'll be there to claim my own spot among the best. Deep within my mind, I'll put all my fear to rest. Cause I will be the best, yeah, I will be the
While everybody that saw that dark mood in Naruto that night, they thought that he was depressed and wanted is grieving and sorrow. In reality, Naruto did try to find those two rogue exorcists, but lost their traces. He even lost traces of Yudo and the girls. So what did he do? He decided to go to Akibara to take his mind off from his past. That geezer Valper reminded him. Man, where did that geezer come from that start to spill my past in front of my friends? Naruto muttered lazily and pressed the button that released a rocket at the monster on the screen. Naruto is playing a game where he is controlling a helicopter and shoots at a gigantic dinosaur. The dinosaur on the screen roared painfully as it was being hit by a rocket. Naruto flew closer to the monster and used his secret weapon to shoot a laser from it and completely obliterated the dinosaur. That was the last stage. So after the defeating of the dinosaur, an inscription with "Congratulations" appeared. Behind Naruto were lots of teenagers that was observing while he was playing. They gathered there because of a single reason. None of them managed to clear the game, so seeing that there was someone skilled enough to win the game made them excited. "Sugoi Nichan, I've never seen anyone that manages to clear the game," exclaimed one boy behind Naruto. He had short red hair and brown eyes, though right now there were stars shining in those eyes. Naruto turned around to look at the boy impassively and responded, "That was not so hard like you guys thought, but you must have impressive reaction enough to predict where those monsters will appear." With that said, Naruto stood up and began to walk away with a laid-back step. The other teenagers looked at him in wonder for a while, and then turned to the game that Naruto has cleared and tried to clear the game with Rias. After punishing Issei by giving him 1,000 slaps on the rear, Rias decided to walk back to the occult club room. Suddenly a Grimmery magic seal appeared in front of her, and she could see her brother astral projection in it. "Onisama?" "Hello, Ryutan. Guess what I decided to give you and Naruto-kun? A surprise," said Serzex with a sing-song voice. "And what is that?" Rias wondered curiously. Serzex has a Cheshire grin on his face, and then his astral finger glowed and aimed a beam of magic towards Ria's forehead. "You go to the address that I embedded in your head and find out," Serzex informed her before his astral projection disappeared with a knowing grin. Rias blinked owlishly, then shrugged her shoulders and headed toward the direction where his brother had pointed out in her head. It was not too far from the school and actually very close to a forest nearby. When Rias has arrived, she gasped in surprise at the sight in front of her. Before her eyes was a huge house. The house has 2 floors and even a balcony. Curiously, Rias stepped in the house and began to inspect each room. Rias blushed horribly when she reached the bedroom. No, there was nothing indecent there. There was just a king-size bed, but what made her blush was a piece of paper that lied on one of the cushions. "Good luck with trying to seduce Naruto-kun, Ryutan. I know that he is super ignorant and slightly dense, but don't give up on him. To encourage you, I'm giving you this house for newlyweds and hope you will succeed. Your dear Onisama." At the end of the note, there was a head of a chibi Serzex that was pumping his fist into the air. Rias tried to cover her face and shake out the embarrassment. Certainly, she knew that her Onisama or maybe even her parents knew of her infatuation with Naruto, but she never thought that they would make a move now. Talking about Naruto, where is that idiot of a servant of hers? He might feel depressed after the meeting with the royal exorcist, but at least he could call back to inform her. Tiredly, Rias fell into her new bed inside. Why the heck did the boy she liked need to be like a block of ice? Maybe that has something to do with his past. If so, why didn't he share his story with her? Why just keep silent by yourself and act like it not bothered him? I could never understand what is going on in Naruto's mind, or why the heck, even if he didn't, trying the girls just drawn to him like bees to honey. Rias wondered aimlessly, and she looked at the ceiling of her new room with Issei. Issei winced in pain from the punishment that Butcher had given him. He rubbed his rear and tried to ease the pain, and cursed out the omnipotent blonde. Damn that Naruto Yaro. I'm sure that he knew that things would turn out that way and sneak away beforehand. Next time I'm gonna dragon shot him into the sky. Issei mumbled and glaring forward as he recalled Naruto's always impassive face. But when he entered his home, all those thoughts about Naruto flew away like that never existed. Why? Because the one running to him in nothing but a white apron on her body was none other than Asuya. Issei-san, you've returned, exclaimed Asuya and happily approached Issei. Asuya, why are you wearing that? It's not like it doesn't suit you, but still, why? Issei wondered with a huge blush, and his grin slowly turned perversely. Kiryu-san told me that men like to look at women in this, replied Asuya softly, then twirled around. It was too much for Issei, because when she twirled like that, he could see her nude rear. Blood began to shoot out of his nose at such an erotic sight. Issei quickly covered his bleeding nose and wiped the blood away furiously. But you can't walk around at home like this. What will my mother say? Retorted Issei, but his eyes still staring at Asuya's body. It's fine, Issei. I chose an apron for her after all. Comes the voice of his mother. Kasan! Issei exclaimed in shock. But what he saw next completely knocked him out. From behind his mother, Akeno walked out with a sly grin. The reason why Issei was knocked out was because, like Asuya, Akeno also wore an apron, but its color was light yellow, with a cat image on it. Ara, it seems Issei-kun couldn't handle my appearance when I'm in only an apron, uttered Akeno, blinking amusingly. Suddenly an idea formed in Akeno's head. Maybe tomorrow I will show this to that impassive Naruto-kun to see how he will react. If I succeed to make him blush, I may as well claim him for myself. Akeno then put her palm on her cheek and chuckled. Oh my, I am such a greedy woman. First Issei-kun and now Naruto-kun? But it will be interesting to see Butcho's reaction when I will tease Naruto-kun in this. Akeno shook her naked rear in amusing laughter. Asuya meanwhile tried to wake Issei up. Even Akeno-san wanted to seduce Naruto-san. Why? Everybody tried so hard to seduce him. Surely, in looks department, Naruto-san is better, but she likes Issei-san because of his kindness and desire to protect his friends with everything he has. And Naruto-san, she couldn't understand him at all. He rarely showed any emotion and didn't smile even once. He seems powerful but also lazy to the point of ditching school by hypnotizing teachers with magic. Then there is still that little bit of holy energy inside of him. How did it get there? Why did he have it? Asuya couldn't find the answer to any of those questions. She looked down at Issei and saw that even on his unconscious face, it slowly turned lecherous. No doubt he's dreaming about her and Akeno in their aprons and serving him as maids. The next day at Kuo Academy, both Naruto and Yuta were still absent. Tired of waiting for them for any longer, Rias decided to send her familiars in search for the boys. The girls of Kuo began to complain about Naruto's absence. Surely he was not present in school much, but when he was presented, they often ogled him from a distance. They won't dare approach him closer because they had heard that Rias Onisama was overprotective about him. They suspect that both were in a relationship, but nothing can confirm it just yet. With Naruto, He had left the Akihabara. Naruto was about to return back home, but then he thought about a pissed off face of his Oju-sama and reconsidered his decision. Sooner or later, he will be scolded by that troublesome woman. He chooses later then. Naruto is a heavy gamer, so when he found out about an Xbox 360, he couldn't take his eyes away from it. Therefore, he booked himself a room and played games all night. Naruto rubbed his eyes and yawned tiredly. Then he looks at the clock. Right now it is 10 in the morning. Naruto rubbed his temples and sighed. Mataku, I'm already late to school. Now I will receive not just from Oju-sama, but from Sona Kaichu as well. Naruto drowsily stood up and glared playfully at the PlayStation. It's your fault. It's funny to see a teenager accuse the video game while he was the one at fault. I need to return to school either way, mumbled Naruto, and headed to the bathroom to do his daily routine. Scene change. Sometime later, one of Rias' familiars found a beaten Irina and immediately contacted her master. When Rias and her peers minus Yudo and Naruto arrived, they were shocked that Irina was not just being beaten, but her clothes had been torn to reveal her chest as well. Sona, Tsubaki, and Saji tagged along as well. Issei picked up her body and asked, Irina, who did this to you? Where is Zenovia and Kiba or Naruto? If they are in a different situation, then he would no doubt ogle her wonderful bosom. But it is not time for that. Irina looked at Issei with half-lidded eyes and replied weakly, his strength was really fearsome. I couldn't escape. But Zenovia and Kiba-san managed to escape. Irina began to wince in pain from her wounds. Asuya, Rise called out to her bishop. Asuya knows what she needs to do, so she quickly activated her twilight healing and began to heal Irina. Don't worry, Irina-san, I will heal you, Asuya reassured the chestnut-haired girl. Who could injure the wielder of the holy sword to that extent? Sona wondered and adjusted her glasses. It's not good. Twilight healing can't replenish the stolen holy energy in her, exclaimed Asuya worriedly. Sona turned to Tsubaki to order her. Tsubaki, you took her back to heal her. Yeah, he worded that wrong. We have some magic that can replenish her energy. Hi, Kaichu. With that, Tsubaki teleported away via magic circle with Irina. Suddenly, all of them felt a very uneasy feeling and a slight shiver run down their spine. This feeling, muttered Issei unpleasantly. Yeah, I knew that, you filthy devils. We'll take the bait. Freed comes out from behind the tree with a mad grin, as usual. Freed! Issei shouted in rage. At the sight of the rogue exorcist, Freed noticed the familiar figure, then cocked his head and leered at Asuya with a crazy grin. Oh, isn't it our dear traitorous Asuya here? Asuya saw Freed leered at her creepily and hid under Issei to hide herself from Freed's gaze. So how do you feel after becoming a filthy devil, huh? Freed crazily glared at Asuya. Suddenly both Rias and Sona jumped forward to confront Freed. Enough! I won't let you insult my servants any further, exclaimed Rias and prepared to unleash her power of destruction. Sona also jumped and stood in line with Rias, preparing her own spell. Wait, I want to discuss something. Freed waves his hands to suspend their both heiresses' actions, then grinned badly. More precisely, my boss wanted to talk with you two. Just as they were about to wonder of what Freed had said, the sky started to darken and change to a blinking purple. All the present looked up and saw the fallen angel floating above them. But that was not just any fallen angel. The figure was a very pale skin for a fallen angel. He has crimson glowing eyes with yellow irises and pointy ears. Most of his clothes were jet black, but the most noticeable feature was 10 black wings behind him. Yes, this was one of the leaders of the Grigori, Kakebyo. The crew they had different reactions, looking at the newly arrived fallen angel. A fallen angel, Kaneko muttered and looked at the mentioned one expressionlessly. Yeah, he has 10 wings. No doubt this is one of the leaders of Grigori. Rias concluded and looked up at Kakebio cautiously. Kakebio looked down from his position at Rias and exclaimed, "Well, it seems I don't need to introduce myself anymore, daughter of Gremory." "What are you doing here, fallen angel leader?" Rias asked, but she already guessed the answer. "What beautiful crimson hair. You look just like your brother Serzex, Crimson Satan. Just as I thought about him, it makes me sick." Kakebio scoffed as he recalled the image of that brat. "Why are you here?" Rias is not in the mood to listen to this pointy-ear lunatic. "I'm here for some fun, of course." Kakebio grinned widely, showing his sharp teeth. He then noticed someone was missing. That someone was the reason why he decided to approach Rias after all. "Where is your ultimate, Rias Gremory?" "Who?" Rias narrowed her eyes in confusion. Issei and Kaneko were also interested to find out, because this is the second time that they have heard that term. The others, just like Rias, looking at each other with questionable gazes at each other. Kakebio began to cackle badly, seeing their confused faces. "You don't even know about the true nature of your invisible knight." "True nature?" Rias muttered and narrowed her eyes, still staring at Kakebio. "But I can't blame you for not knowing about that. After all, the Miles have made his identity a top secret in the underworld," revealed Kakebio and grinned widely at their still confused face. Tell me about Naruto's identity," Rias demanded rather loudly and forcefully. Yes, she wanted to know that badly. "Oh, you want to know that badly? Alright, I will reveal it to you, but not here. I would like to look around Kuo Academy. It is your HQ, right?" Kakebio cocked his head and smirked arrogantly. Then he added something that made them all gasp in horror. "If I'm going to beat the shit out of you all, then Serzex will appear, right? Not only that, but that ultimate will appear. Yes, a very grand party will start it." "But if that happens, then one or more war will happen between God, fallen angels, and devils." Rias realized what Kakebio was trying to achieve. "I was disappointed when Michael sent only an old geezer and 2 girls with holy swords. That was not enough. Far from enough," growled Kakebio angrily. "So you want to cause a new war, am I right?" Rias deduced and narrowing her eyes. "That's right. Devils and fallen angels were always on the brink of war. They just needed one more push to make it happen." Kakebio grinned madly, then added, "But this time, I will let you devils start that war." Rias Gremory and Sona Citri, both of you are representative sisters of your older sibling, Miles. That means there are enough of your magical energy to cause a ruckus and chaos. It will be the ideal place to start a war." "You are a lunatic," exclaimed Issei loudly, and glared at Kakebio while activating his boosted gear. Kakebio looked down at the boosted gear disinterestedly and stated, "Your sacred gear seems like an interesting thing, but I don't have any interest in it. Azazel is obsessed with them. When it comes to his collections, he is always acting like a child and tries his best to find the rarest for his research." "Azazel, the supreme leader of fallen angels?" wondered Saji. "So is he involved in this as well?" asked Issei. "No, both Azazel and Shemazai didn't want for this war to happen. Those idiots. I have enough of listening to their peace trash talk," screamed Kakebio furiously. "Didn't my boss, such a crazy bastard, free but in with a crazy grin, okay? He was even generous enough to give me these gifts. Freed opened his saint coat to reveal 2 more holy swords that were strapped to his coat. "He has 3 holy swords now," Issei exclaimed, sweating a bit. "Of course I can use them all. I am awesome like that." Freed took out a cloth with a knowing grin and added, "Oh, but the burns is this Excalibur mimic that I took from that pigtail girl." The cloth then morphed to a sword. "So, The one that beat Irina was you, demanded Issei furiously. That's right, you lowly devil. Free stuck out his tongue at Issei. Enough chit-chat. Time to start a war. Sister of Serzex and sister of Seraphal, proclaimed Kakabule and sent a fairly large light spear at them. Rias countered the spear with a blast of power of destruction. The clashes between the two powers negated each other. Now we are talking, exclaimed Kakabule in satisfaction and flew to the direction of Kuo Academy. Issei noticed that Free was gone as well. Where the heck is Naruto when you need him the most? Besides, no matter. What I will find out about what Kakabule is implying, Rias said determinedly. We must protect Kuo Academy at all costs. That Kakabule is toying with us for now. The fallen angel of his caliber could easily destroy the city without breaking a sweat, said Sona, then looked at Rias. Will you call your brother? Rias also looked back at Sona and answered her question with the other question. What about you? Will you call your sister? Sona looked away and shook her head. My sister is... Your brother loves you. He will act. I'm sure about that. Rias stayed silent and then activated the teleportation magic. I want to hear about Naruto's identity first. That was Rias' words before she teleported herself to Kuo Academy. The rest followed her actions. None of them noticed that Naruto was presently standing far away on the roof of a random house. He arrived in time to see Kakabule appear, but decided to observe from a side. Now let's see what you and your peers can do against the enemy of Toothy-kun, Oju-sama. Naruto bites his sandwich and muttered to himself. The moment he looked at Kakabule, two nicknames immediately appeared in his head, Toothy-kun or Fallen Elf-kun at Kuo Academy. To contain the damage, Sona ordered her peers to create a barrier. She and her peers will remain in the barrier while Rias will deal with Kakabule on the inside. We still have time, Rias. Contact your brother for help. Please. Sona asked Rias one more time, but Rias shook her head and replied stubbornly, I will deal with this problem myself. No need to involve Nisama in this when he is busy with the underworld. I'm sorry, Butcho, said Akino apologetically. I've already contacted Serzex-sama. Akino, I didn't ask you to do that, retorted Rias, narrowing her eyes. But he said that there will be someone that will take care of Kakabule instead of him. Akino informed them about Serzex's messages. They were all confused about that. Rias is thinking that her Oni-sama is talking about Naruto, but that is just absurd. Even if Naruto is strong, there is no way he is strong enough to take care of one of the Gogoro's leaders by himself. That fact just revealed how much strength Naruto is hiding from her. With Naruto decided to not use his Kamui to appear at Kuo, but to run there while buying some snacks on the way. When he was about some meters from reaching Kuo, suddenly a seal of Gremory appeared and showed an astral mini version of Serzex. If you called me, then I guess you are already aware about the current situation, right, Serzex-sama? Naruto asked them all. Yeah. That's why I want you to take care of that problem in my stead, Naruto-kun, replied Serzex in his astral projection form. Okay, agreed Naruto, and was about to end their conversation, but Serzex added, Today you can go wild. There is no point in hiding who you are anymore. Sooner or later, everybody will find out. It will only be a matter of time. So go on a rampage as much as you want. Show him the power of the ultimate Naruto-kun. Naruto smirked slightly and nodded his head. If permission is granted, then I will gonna get a bit wild. Even if I may attract a bit of individuals around the world, it may be worth it. Serzex laughed loudly before he ended their contact. He might also observe Naruto's battle in the underworld. He then wonders how Naruto will react when he finds out about his stunt with his new house. Just the thought already made Serzex barely holding back his laughter. He sure is one hell of a prankster. Naruto rubbed his palms together and grinned slightly. It's time to break some Toothy-kun's wings. Naruto used Kamui to suck himself away into a space-time hole. Finally, he was able to test his sacred gear on someone except Serzex, but it will be a disappointment if Toothy-kun can't even meet his expectations. Elsewhere, the man, which was Issei's client, looked out to the horizon with a fishing rod in his hand and muttered, "It seems something very interesting will happen." The man turned back to see a handsome young man with slightly spiky silver hair that stood there with his hands crossed. "Right, Valley?" The man observed to the man addressed to the young man that stood behind him with a knowing grin. The young man didn't reply, but just staring at the man in front of him slightly. Kuo Academy. There is still no sight of Yudo or Zenobia. Suddenly, they all felt a huge amount of holy energy coming from the side of the sports gates. A huge pillar of light was shot out of the sky. Valper is planning to combine 4 fragments of the Excalibur into one. Beside him, Fried is looking at the forming sword with anticipation. But that holy energy was also the magic of high-scale destruction. Kakabio is indeed trying to erase this city. Naruto decided to not act for the time being. He needed to see for himself what that toothy kun is capable of first. Besides, this will be really useful practice for Issei and Kaneko. That amount of holy energy certainly attracted the attention of both Yudo and Zenobia, so they immediately headed there. Meanwhile, Kakabio became arrogant enough to bring his throne and watch them from below like a king. Well now, who is coming? Serzex? Seraphol? Perhaps the ultimate? Rias is extremely impatient now. This is the 3rd time he used that term. "We will take care of you by ourselves. Now, as promised, tell me, what is so secretive about Naruto's identity? What is ultimate?" Rias demanded with fury in her eyes. Kakabio sighed in disappointment, as none of the ones he is looking for will show up. He snapped his fingers and materialized a huge spear, then sent it to the gym and completely obliterating it. Issei was a little shocked and scared at the demonstration of his powers. He never saw a light spear that big before. "Are you scared? This is the strength of that one that you fought in the previous war and survived to this day," exclaimed Drake in the boosted gear. "If neither of them want to come out yet, then I will just draw them out by killing all of you. By you all not worth my attention." Kakabio snapped his fingers again, and a beam shot down from his throne and revealed a 3-headed huge dog. "Try to entertain my pets at least." He then looked down at Rias, exceptional, and grinned. "You want to know about the ultimate that badly? Alright. If you defeat my pets, I may as well tell you," Rias Gremory. "These are Cerberus, the guardians of Hell Gates," stated Akino, and changed to her Miko battle form and prepared for battle. Issei and Kaneko prepare for battle. "Asia, you stay behind to heal our injuries. Issei, try to enhance as much power as you can with your boosted gear," commanded Rias. And so the battle started. Naruto, that was still observing, noticed 2 energies coming this way. It was Yudo and Zenobia. Naruto sighed when Kakabio is trying to piss off Oju-sama by stalling the time to reveal his secret. That toothy cunt sure is mouthful. But he will fix that when the time will come. At least he will let Oju-sama's peers gain some battle experience. But guys, I'm going to end it off right there. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it, and I will see you guys in the next one.